Wizards, witches and muggles, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So today's video is super exciting because I finally went down to London to visit the Noble Collection store. Now, if you don't know what Noble Collection is by now, it's where I personally get all of my beloved Wizarding World replicas and collectibles, and honestly, this store did not disappoint me. It was everything and more that I wanted it to be, and yes, it was so magical. So obviously I took you guys with me. I'm going to be discussing everything and giving you an in-depth tour. So let's go. If you're brand new to my channel, hello, welcome. Don't forget you can click the subscribe button if you'd like to become part of our weird, magical online family. Let's go to the Noble Collection store. I'm going to start off by telling you guys where you can find the Noble Collection store. It is on Neal Street in Covent Garden. It's absolutely beautiful there. And so we got there and I went to the store and I walked in and I was like, wow, the first floor when you walk into the shop is entirely dedicated to the Wizarding World, and I was in heaven. I don't think I've been to a place that I love this much. And oh yeah, so there was just things everywhere. It's quite overwhelming when you go in, especially if you like collecting things like I do. I'm gonna mention how beautiful the interior is when you first enter Noble Collection on the Wizarding World floor, because they have a cobbled floor, so it kind of feels like you're walking across part of Diagon Alley in one section of the store, and there's also a part which kind of feels like a Hogwarts library in one of the back corners, and they have like pillars. Oh god, it's just beautiful. It's honestly very, very magical. I think one of the most magical sections of this store is where they display all of the wands. I have never seen this many character wands from the Wizarding World before all at once, and I think they even had more than the studio tour. Don't quote me on that, but it felt like it. And there were ones that I had personally never ever seen before, so I was just like, there was just wands everywhere and they were displayed absolutely beautifully. It kind of felt like you were in Ollivander's, apart from they didn't have the wand boxes everywhere, but the fact that they displayed them all, it was like, this is where you can get your wands. It just felt really, really lovely. And I definitely spent a long time in the wand section just looking at all the different ones. They had like James Potter's wand and Grindelwald's wand. They had a lot more than I'd ever seen, so it was very, very impressive. One of the things that I really super loved about this store was all of their displays. They had a lot of displays that had quite a lot of thought put behind them behind glass, and they were really nice to view, and it just made things feel a lot special. There was one in particular that had this velvet chair and it had like Mad-Eye Moody's staff in there. It was so cool. It had floating candles. It's just very creative the way that they display things in this store, and it just filled me with a lot of joy. And let me tell you, they have got so many magical plushies. I don't think I've ever seen this many before, but they had like Hedwig, they had Dobby, they had Fawkes, Nifflers, Demiguise. They had so many plushies. I was in heaven. I was just like cuddling them all with no regrets, and I wanted to take all of them home, but I resisted very well, to be honest. But it was really nice, and it was nice to see products that I hadn't necessarily seen before. I think that was one of the coolest things, discovering new things. Even though I am a collector already, it was nice to see things that were new. And speaking of new products, they had the bendable bow truckles, which were really, really cool, and they also had the bookends that look like the chess pieces from the Chamber of Secrets. I thought those were absolutely awesome. They were really heavy, but also really, really detailed as well, so they were very nice to look at in person. They also had a section which had all of the magical creatures sculptures, which was really, really cool actually to see them in person, because I've seen them online, but to see them all together, I was like, wow, these do look really, really awesome. So I definitely had a little browse at all of those, especially the new Fantastic Beast ones, which came out not so long ago. Now, the really exciting part for me was to see all of the replicas. Those are some of my favorite things that you can get from Noble Collection. For example, I already have Rowena Ravenclaw's Lost Diadem, the Hufflepuff Cup, and so on, and they just had everything. And one piece in particular that I really really did like to see in person was the Philosopher's Stone. They had it in like this glass dome and it was just so pretty. They also had a Philosopher's Stone necklace that I saw, which I hadn't seen before. It was just beautiful to see these things on display. I was just in heaven. And in one of the glass cabinets, which is by the entrance, they had like house themed sections. So you had a whole section for Gryffindor, a whole section for Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw and Slytherin. So there's definitely something for everyone at this store. It was really, really nice that they did that little section so everyone kind of felt included. And I also found their time turners. Now, I always get asked, and I have answered it many times before, everyone asks where this necklace is from, and it is in fact from Noble Collection, and they had loads of them behind their glass cabinets. There is some that are cheaper than others, but there's also gold plated ones that are the more expensive ones, and yeah, they just had everything. Something else that was really interesting to see was the cabinets which were supporting Lumos. You can buy things that some of the proceeds go towards the Lumos charity, which is J.K. Rowling's charity, if you don't know already. And it was really nice to see things that were charity based in this store as well. And they had two cabinets, I believe. They had one on the first floor, which was the main magical floor, and also on the floor downstairs, which we will get to in a minute. If you do end up visiting the Noble Collection store, it's definitely worth wandering around more than once because you always see different things. I really liked their broom display because they had the Nimbus 2000s and Firebolts on display, and they kind of floated up and down like they were magically kind of doing their thing, and that was really nice to see. But definitely wander around a few times. That's exactly what I did. So once I had pretty much seen everything on the first floor, I then went down and discovered the second floor of Noble Collection, which I did not know that they had. And it's definitely worth going down the stairs to see what was on the other floor of Noble Collection. They had so many different things that I didn't even know that they made for different licenses. For example, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Suicide Squad, DC, Superman, the Dark Knight trilogy. Honestly, it was so cool seeing all of the other things that Noble Collection had created for other fandoms and licenses, such as Game of Thrones. I was really excited to see some of the Game of Thrones stuff. There was the dragon eggs. They were all individual replicas. They were really, really cool. There was the Hand of the King pin, which I really liked, and there was loads and loads and loads of Lord of the Rings stuff, so if you're into that, definitely go check it out. Some of the Suicide Squad stuff actually was really cool. I liked a lot of the Harley Quinn things, and they had some necklaces that were quite beautiful as well. Now, one of the really awesome things that is down on the bottom floor of the Noble Collection store is they have an archive. They have an archive of things that they don't sell anymore, but they used to, and three things in particular caught my eye, and it was Hermione's bag, which I was just like, wow, why do you not sell this anymore? Because it's beautiful, and I'm sure a lot of people would love that. It was absolutely stunning, and it was really good to see in person. There was also a collector's edition of Harry Potter's glasses in this box, which were pretty cool if you ask me. And the other thing that I saw that I've never ever seen before is the, they had a Hogwarts Crest tankard, like a beer mug thing, and that was really cool to see. But it was really nice to see kind of like all of their previous replicas. It was really, really cool. It was a really nice experience actually seeing this whole store. I definitely spent a couple of hours in the Noble Collection store, and it was worth every single second. Before I go, I would like to do a quick shout out to Noble Collection themselves because they invited me to film this for you guys. They let me film in their store for a very long time, which is very good of them. And they also very kindly gifted me quite a few things that I do not have in my collection already. So definitely look out for the next video on my channel because it's going to be a Noble Collection haul, and I'm very excited. You're not going to want to miss it. There are some really, really special things in there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone that you think would enjoy visiting or seeing this store, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!